The two undefeated champions were scheduled to meet with Turki Al-Sheikh to finalize details for their highly anticipated September showdown. However, before even reaching his residence, tensions flared right at the airport. Terence Crawford, expecting a professional handshake and perhaps a brief conversation, was completely ignored by Canelo. In fact, Canelo walked past Crawford as if he wasn't even there. Anyone familiar with Crawford knows he isn't the type to let something like that slide. He didn't back down. Instead, he approached Canelo, clearly prepared to address the snub, but rather than keeping things civil, Canelo escalated the situation. Reports suggest he got in Crawford's face, fist clenched, looking like he was ready to fight right then and there. Their teams had to intervene quickly to prevent things from spiraling out of control, and security had to step in to stop the situation from turning the airport into a battleground before the official fight had even been confirmed. As for Floyd Mayweather, where does he fit into this Middle Eastern drama? Let's just say he's been very close with Terence Crawford ever since the fight was announced.
Is this? Yesterday they text me. They text me and say, we can talk about the fight in February with Crawford. Yeah. They text me yesterday and I say, look, I'm not gonna talk about any other fight. I'm focused 100% on this fight. Look, I don't like the way he talked, and I'm not in this position because of any. I'm in this position if he wants to work with me, it's in my way, not in their way.
What was
I don't need it.
What didn't you like about how he approached? Like what was
it's not the way to approach. It's not the way to approach to me. Look, I respect everybody and I respect Turkey, but look, if he wants to...
Rumor has it that Floyd has been personally helping Crawford fine-tune his skills for the upcoming fight, giving him that championship-level training needed to take on someone like Canelo.
That's weird, you know, because you'd have to gain like, what, 20 pounds?
Yeah.
But they say that's the money fight. That's the mega fight. That's the money fight. That's the only thing that makes sense for Terence Crawford.
Well, you know what I mean? Catch weight. You can do something out of catch weight.
What weight you think?
Probably like 160 or something.
But you said 154 is the highest you want to go.
Yeah, 158.
Rumor has it that Floyd has been personally helping Crawford fine-tune his skills for the upcoming fight, giving him that championship-level training when the airport incident occurred. Floyd was one of the first to sound the alarm, with headlines already buzzing. Mayweather made it clear that while Terence is a veteran, he needs to take Canelo more seriously than anyone he's faced before. Coming from Floyd, that's a wake-up call. He knows exactly what it takes to defeat Canelo, as he is the only one to have done it officially. To take on someone like Canelo.
Hold me back!
When the airport incident occurred, Floyd was one of the first to sound the alarm. With headlines already buzzing, Mayweather made it clear that while Terence is a veteran, he needs to take Canelo more seriously than anyone he's faced before. Coming from Floyd, that's a wake-up call. He knows exactly what it takes to defeat Canelo, as he is the only one to have done it officially. He's faced before. Coming from Floyd, that's a wake-up call. He knows exactly what it takes to defeat Canelo, as he is the only one to have done it officially. To take on someone like Canelo.
You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, bro, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd, nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll be this. Never. That's some hate type shit to me.
Like plotting.
Yeah.
Floyd isn't sugarcoating anything. He's giving Crawford a serious warning. This isn't just another fight. It's a chance to define his legacy, and it's dangerous. If Crawford isn't fully focused, things could go wrong quickly. Mayweather's been in that position before, and he's making it clear that while Crawford is elite, this is Canelo. One mistake, and the fight could be over. Floyd didn't hold back, taking to social media to emphasize that while Terence is a great fighter, moving up to weight classes to face Canelo requires precision and strategy. Boxing isn't just about making big moves. It's about making smart ones. This is Crawford's wake-up call.
Say like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later. And he's still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another. You know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out.
But things get even more intense. Canelo didn't just ignore Crawford after the incident. He reportedly told his team that Crawford didn't deserve his respect until they're in the ring. To him, Crawford is just another challenger, not at his level. If Crawford was already angry, this took it to a whole new level. He's entering the fight with nothing but bad intentions.
Looking great. Thank you. Looking great. Thank you.
When they arrived at Turki Al-Sheikh's residence, the tension was palpable. As a businessman, Turki had to step in as a mediator. Photos of him with both fighters surfaced. And although they tried to keep things professional, the energy in the room said it all. Neither fighter smiled or looked at ease, and that only signals one thing: a war is coming. With September set for the big showdown, this rivalry has reached dangerous heights. Crawford is moving up to weight classes to face Canelo, and wow, many question whether he can handle the size and power difference. The intensity he's bringing now could turn this into the fight of his life.
The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes, 21 pounds, to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermell Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it. And lost fight number 2. Trained him for fight Rocky 3. And then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago. Because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go.
Canelo isn't fighting Crawford just yet. First, he's set to face William Skull on May 3rd to reclaim his undisputed super middleweight title. Some fans are calling it a warm-up, but here's the catch. If Canelo enters the Crawford fight, holding all for titles at 168 pounds, it only amplifies the stakes.
Crawford saying you have to move up to 68 and fight the winner of Canelo Charlo at 68.
I commend them for it. It takes a lot of balls to do it. A lot of courage, but it also takes, more importantly, it takes believing in yourself. So I commend.
Now, let's talk about the weight difference. Crawford has never fought at 168 pounds, making this a significant 14-pound jump from his previous fight. Many are wondering if he's taking on too much, but remember, Canelo began his career at welterweight, the same division where Crawford became undisputed.
Can't go down anymore, but you know, like he say, you know, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't want to get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's gonna say it's too small, it's too small, it's too small, and then, you know, he need to enjoy his fight. Okay, he deserve it. He deserve it. I like Spence, but you know, I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything. But I knew. I think is the type of fight Terence Crawford is different. 168, but like I say, like he say, nobody's gonna give me.
If anyone knows how to beat Canelo Alvarez, it's Floyd Mayweather. Let's be honest, Terence Crawford couldn't have chosen a better mentor. Floyd is the only man to have officially defeated Canelo, and he didn't just win, he dominated. him for 12 rounds back in 2013. Sure, Canelo was younger then, but the lessons from that fight still apply. Top trainer Ronnie Shields recently explained that if Crawford wants to defeat Canelo, he needs to follow Floyd's blueprint. Shields isn't worried about the weight difference because, in boxing, it's not just about power, it's about IQ, footwork, and control. That's how Floyd beat Canelo, by dictating the pace, landing his shots, and stepping out before Canelo could react. He kept Canelo off balance, never letting him find a rhythm. That's exactly what Crawford needs to do. Shields emphasized that Crawford must stay loose, keep moving, and never become a stationary target.
18 at the time, when Floyd Mayweather fought Arturo Gatti. I'm just curious, did you watch that fight?
Of course. I still watch it.
Right. Because it was that kind of... Yeah. So I'm asking because when you fought Ndongo at 140, you looked really great that night too. Same weight class Floyd as that we fought Gatti. Right. I'm not asking hypothetical who would win, but do you think that night you were right there with Floyd on the night he fought Gatti?
Of course. I'm always thinking that I'm on a higher level than a lot of people give me credit. It's just me with the confidence that I have in myself.
Being that he was the previous pound for pound king before you, does he get a little more attention than other great fighters from you when it came to studying him on the way up?
Of course.
What did you take from him?
He was my era. You know, the whole hit and not get hit, and to make the adjustments that he's made to certain fighters. You know, he's the king.
So you think you guys got a lot in common?
In some aspects, yeah, we do.
How are you guys different?
Both boxing. I think, you know, I take more chances.
Excuse me, Crawford.
You know, right now. But earlier in his career, he was taking a lot of chances as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it just depends on which Floyd Mayweather you talk about. Do you talk about money or do you talk about Pretty Boy? Because Pretty Boy was the seek and destroy fighter.
You're more like Pretty Boy, probably, right?
Right. But then, you know, he started having hand injuries, so he couldn't really keep up with the...
And here's the kicker: Canelo struggles against that style. We saw it against Dmitry Bivol in 2022 when Canelo couldn't cut off the ring, got frustrated, and started swinging wildly. That exposed a key weakness. Floyd mastered this strategy, and now he's passing that knowledge down to Crawford.
Yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit, okay, I'm just asking.
Oh,
Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Mayweather has been in Crawford's corner ever since this fight was confirmed, helping him prepare. After seeing how determined Canelo is, Floyd is making it clear that Crawford can't afford to slip up. Not even for a second. Canelo may be one of boxing's biggest stars, but even he knows that facing Terence Crawford is a whole different challenge. And let's be real, Canelo didn't just wake up one day and decide to take this fight. This was a calculated decision. He knew that if he avoided Crawford, the boxing world would never let him hear the end of it.
Canelo running from Benavides. What is that? I mean, imagine if I ever ran from anybody. Like, did I run from somebody in my career? No. Did Chavez run from somebody in his career? No. Chavez was 87-0. Imagine that. So to me, that's the all-time great.
However, Canelo knows the risks involved. That's why he isn't jumping straight into the deep end. Instead, he's taking a strategic detour by facing William Skull first to kind of warm up before the real fight. But this isn't just about staying active. It's about stalling. Canelo isn't naive. He's seen what happened to Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and even Gervonta Davis when they looked far ahead. One wrong move, one unexpected upset, and suddenly their entire legacy is at risk. Canelo isn't about to let that happen. That's why he's treating Crawford like a future problem, not a present one. He's looking to buy time. Maybe even study Crawford's style a bit more before stepping into the fire.
You and Terence Crawford would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We don't talking about yet about the fight. Me and Tukalaj know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Huh?
When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
in camp. Training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February.
And there you have it. Floyd Mayweather isn't just talking. He's issuing a direct warning to Terence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez is no joke, and whatever happened at the airport has only raised the stakes even higher. The real question is, will Crawford listen to Floyd's advice, or will he stick to his own strategy and try to shock the world? One thing's for sure, this fight is shaping up to be one of the biggest chess matches in boxing history.
Couldn't have an error to himself. And if you put Terence Crawford against any opponent on Floyd's resume, who do you have favored? Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's opponents?
Why does Ryan keep mentioning another?
No, I'm asking the question first. Do we got Terence Bud Crawford beating everybody on Floyd's resume?
Who do you have favored, Terence Crawford or one of Floyd's past opponents? Does Ryan keep mentioning another fighter? No. I'm asking the question first. Can Crawford beat everyone on Floyd's resume? Do you think Floyd's concerns are justified, or is Crawford too skilled to be shaken? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're excited for this showdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated.